Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week we begin the book of Deuteronomy. And our ancestors have asked for generations, why do we need this book of Deuteronomy? Why do we need to tell it again? The story itself is one we've all heard. Deuteronomy, after all, is a retelling of all of the events of the first 4 books. And our sages have struggled with this question of why do we have this whole second reading? And there are all sorts of interesting answers, from the priestly class needed it to a different group needing it. But one of the enduring pieces of Deuteronomy is the importance of memory. And we Jews are nothing if not a people of memory. And so by reading Deuteronomy, we are getting from our sacred texts, our sacred scriptures, a clear reminder that memory counts, and that remembering all of the events is a primary responsibility and a primary value for us as Jews. So we'll begin reading Deuteronomy this Shabbat, and it'll carry us through till the High Holy Days, which, believe it or not, are just around the corner. And in doing that, we'll relive all of the exciting moments that we've read in the Torah up to now, the events at Sinai, the events getting out of the land of Egypt. And we'll encounter prayers that we know. The Shema, of course, comes from the book of Deuteronomy, as does V'ahavta. And as we especially come to Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of the month of Av, and we mark Tisha B'Av with the showing of the movie Munich, and as the Olympics begin this evening, and we deal with the question of whether or not there should be a moment of silence, this question of memory comes back to us. We Jews are particularly struck by the lack of a moment of silence at the Olympics because it's so ingrained in us to remember. We, after all, light a Yortzeit candle every year on the anniversary of one's death. We're constantly a people of memory. We say the mourner's Kaddish, and we talk of our ancestors. We name our children after our ancestors. So to not remember feels decidedly not Jewish to us. And so as we recall Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, and the destructions of the first temple and the second temple, and as we recall those terrible events in Munich 40 years ago, we do so with a sense of memory, that by keeping the past alive, we can ensure a better future for ourselves and our offspring. Our services this evening at the temple will be at 6 o'clock. Please join us. There's a pre-oneg at 5:30. Tomorrow evening we'll be marking Tisha B'Av. We'll begin with a showing of the movie Munich, which talks about the events in Munich 40 years ago, and then the Israeli response to them. And then we'll go from that into a Tisha B'Av service. Next week we will have services again at 6 o'clock p.m. And in a couple of weeks, our next outdoor service will take place. We'll be at Mill Run Park with a barbecue, and I hope you can join us to be a part of that wonderful evening. For now, I wish you a Shabbat of memory. As you tune into the Olympics over the weekend, I hope you recall great moments from Olympics past, and I hope you recall those sad moments in Munich too, because each of those moments teaches us about what it means to be a Jew. We look backward so that we can be guided into the future. Shabbat Shalom. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.